Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back here to today's episode of The Fishing Teacher, and really appreciate you guys coming by the channel to watch today's video. And guys, today I'm going to talk to you about one of my favorite jerkbait colors for this time of year, for the late spring into the early summer. Nobody hardly ever fishes it, which is this Megabass, aka Tora color. Super bright chartreuse. Guys, this thing is freaking deadly under the right conditions, and it'll surprise you what those conditions are because there's quite a few of them. So what I'm going to do in today's video is I'm going to go over the situations where I've done really good on this color, give you guys some tips and advice on what to look for, and I think it's going to add up to some good fish for y'all. Also, guys, before we get started, I will link this in my video description. I'll link the Megabass jerkbait link. They actually make this color in a lot of different jerkbait models, so I'll put that in my Tackle Warehouse link in the description. If you guys would like to use and bookmark that link, it's a good way to help the channel out, get you some good deals on tackle too. Okay guys, this color right here, the fire tiger, in other words, this is a little bit different version of it because it's got a different, most fire tigers have a black back, and this one's got, I guess that's a red back because I'm sort of colorblind, I can't really tell, but the main thing is the bright flat chartreuse side on here. Super bright bait that really stands out a lot in a lot of different conditions. So let's talk a little bit about what you want to look for as far as when this thing works good, because it's very situational and you don't hardly ever see people throwing this thing. And this color has been around for a long time in other type of jerkbaits, that chartreuse. But again, the people that know about it and have experienced success about it don't really talk about it much. But in most jerkbait circles, this is just not a real popular color. So let's talk a little bit about the conditions it works good in. Now, first of all, there's about 5 different scenarios where this thing really works good in that I really want to go over today. Now, the first situation, I want to talk about just the typical man-made impoundment in the United States. It has largemouth bass in it. Maybe you got some spotted bass, and maybe you got a few smallmouth, or just a straight largemouth lake in general, that type of thing. In a straight man-made impoundment like that, where you have traditional jerkbait fishing, there's 2 scenarios this is going to work. Number one, it's going to work in some stained off-colored water. So if you have water visibility that is around 2 feet, which is about minimum for what I like for a jerkbait, this is a really good color in that little bit off-colored water. That if you have that water visibility, 12 to maybe 20 inches, aka Tora, really good color. That's why this is like one of the most secretive colors on Lake of the Ozarks. There's a lot of watercolor in Lake of the Ozarks that's like that. A lot of you Lake of the Ozarks guys are not going to like me doing this video because this is one of the secret colors up there. But that is one situation. And the other situation is if you have cleaner water and you have low light, rainy conditions. So let's say, for example, you've got 4 to 5 foot clarity, which is considered clear water. And most people think in those situations, you want to use some type of a translucent color jerkbait. This AKA Tora, guys, if it's raining out and you got some wind and it's, those days that it's a little bit darker, especially if you got wind, guys, try this in the clear water. Largemouth and spotted bass will hammer this thing. And this is probably, out of all the situations I'm going to talk about in today's video, that's the number one situation where I've done the best in. So let me give you a perfect example. It's, springtime of the year, or anywhere between, say, March and the end of May. You got 4 to 5 foot water visibility. You got a misty, rainy type of a day, not like a hard rain, but just like a misty type of rain, maybe even heavy overcast. And you have at least a moderate wind, like a 12 to 20 mile an hour wind. If you get those situations, they will light this thing up because they can see it from a long way. And those low light conditions, whether it be the off-colored water or the low light sky conditions, that's what they really go for. Now, the other situation is something that's a little bit more technique specific based upon the area you're at, and that's fishing for smallmouth up north. Well, I'm going to talk about 2 things, smallmouth up north and largemouth way down south. Any of the Great Lakes or the big famous smallmouth fisheries in the country, Mille Lacs, Minnetonka, St. Clair, all the Great Lakes, Champlain, Oneida, all that type of stuff. Guys, this is one of the best colors you'll ever fish for smallmouth in any condition. It doesn't matter if it's sunny or cloudy or whatever. They love this AKA Tora better than any other, color up there. And finally, the other situation where this thing works really good in is in tannic water in Florida. So all you guys that fish like Lake Toho, Lake Okeechobee, Any type of body of water in Florida that has aquatic vegetation and that black tannic water, especially if that black tannic water is a little bit cleaner, this is a great color for that. Perfect example, guys, if you fish the North Shore on Lake Okeechobee, that's a little bit cleaner in there, and you've got some shallow grass and clear water, and that black looking water, deadly color in those situations. So anyway, guys, I will link this in my Tackle Warehouse link, aka Tora, that it comes in a wide variety of different Megabass jerkbaits. Just I'll put that link in the description and just go through the color chart until you see the aka Tora. Get you a couple of them and see what you think about it. So hope it helps you guys get some. We'll talk later.